John worked very long hours, and he cared for his aging mom. He regularly helped two of his older neighbors by preparing meals for them, and he would run to the store to get them whatever they needed. He would also spend a lot of time hanging out with them and talking to them and visiting them. As time went on, John became the one who would replace the light bulbs and change the batteries and the smoke detectors, and occasionally would drive them to medical appointments on his one day off. There were, however, times in his life when he felt that he was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, that he was the one that everybody depended on, and he was the one who was always available when someone needed help. And then everything seemed to collapse in his life all at once. His mom died rather suddenly. His job of over 30 years was eliminated 2 days after he turned 60. And because of that, the money that he had accumulated in his savings account had quickly disappeared. And one day he was praying. And John said, "God, I know people say that you're always there, but why do you seem so far away from me? I have tried always to be so faithful to you, helping other people, giving it my best shot." John began to question in his life where God was. Several weeks went by, and someone from his church paid the rent. A neighbor encouraged him to come along with her to join a grief support group that she was part of, because she thought that would help John to process his mom's death. A friend then told him about a job opening. Granted, it was much less money than his former job, but it was a job. Life wasn't perfect, but every time John reached a breaking point, someone showed up. Someone was there for him. And through those people, John came to realize that God was there too, providing the hope and the strength that he needed. That's how God is there for us. The promise of Jesus has never been, nothing bad will happen to you. But the promise of Jesus has been, you will face it never by yourself. You will never face anything alone. no matter how incredibly faithful we may be, or how dedicated to our faith and living the way of Jesus, Jesus is telling us today in the readings that there will be times of suffering in life, and that no one escapes that. But when the tough times come, we are not alone. We have very little control over our lives. Life sometimes just unfolds as it does. But in that unfolding, God is there. So let's take a look at Jeremiah in the first reading. Jeremiah pours his heart out to God. Jeremiah was rejected for speaking God's word. His friends hoped he would fail. Do you know those toxic people in your life? Yeah, Jeremiah can relate to all of them. How about those who mock us for standing up for what is right? Justice for all of God's people. Care for the immigrant and the refugee. In this Pride Month, care and support for our LGBTQIA+ community. Or those times that we might feel alone because we do the right thing. The rejection that we sometimes face for standing up for the things that matter to Jesus. Jeremiah felt it. Jeremiah knew it. Jeremiah was emotionally exhausted and even wished that he could just stop preaching. And then after Jeremiah pours his heart out to God, he said, you know what? God is with me, and they will not prevail. What is Jeremiah teaching us today? I think one of the big lessons is that it is perfectly okay to bring our suffering, our confusion, our frustration, and sometimes even our anger to God. Life is hard, and we are always being exposed to the suffering of other people. And we witness all too often the incredible burdens that people carry within their hearts. Most people that we encounter are in far greater pain than any of us will ever know. And many of us in this life experience our own share of suffering as well, because it just shows up. There are times in our lives when we know that we can't ever escape suffering, and we need to be with the suffering. And today, both Jeremiah and Jesus teach us that human suffering can often be a place of deeper faith. That it's in that suffering when we hit rock bottom that the true spiritual journey begins. So whether you are aware of it in the moment or not, God cares deeply for you. God notices, we hear in the reading, the sparrow that falls from the sky and counts the hairs on our head. Today, God says, no matter what happens to you or what you go through, I am with you. God cares for us so deeply and intimately. And if you can't believe that right now, or if you're at a place in your life where you can't even see it, just trust it. Be aware of God's love surrounding you and washing over you. And may we keep surrounding one another in that love as well. Our liturgical music in our Sunday gathering is so important to us. And every song that gets chosen connects to God's word or to a prayer and helps us to enter deeper into the heart of God. As we prepare the table today, we will sing these words to God. I know you are near, standing always at my side. You guard me from the foe and you lead me in ways everlasting. And then Lindsay will lead us in that song that is her signature song that comes from this deep place within her. All my life, saying this to God, you have been faithful. All my life, you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. My friends, the Eucharist that God gives to us this morning, the Eucharist that we receive at this table, is a sign of God's deep and abiding presence with us. The presence of God coming to us in bread and in wine. No matter what comes our way, God is with us. And we sing of the goodness of God.